The first visualization we're going to use is the slicer. So I'm just going to click on the slicer and decrease the size. Now in the slicer, the first thing we want is we want to be able to filter down on different groups. So we want to look at different local government areas and see how many crashes there are. So I could open the node, and LGA is the field that we want. So you can just tick that, or you can just drag it in. You can see there's some erroneous data in there. We don't want to take it out of the data set, but we don't want to see blanks. So we have the LGA field. I'm just going to select all and unselect blanks, and that will get rid of the blank. But I also don't want these ones in brackets because these are not actually local government areas in Victoria. So what I can do is I can grab LGA again and drop it across. And for this time, I'm going to use advanced filtering. And I'm going to say I don't want anything that contains an opening bracket, and apply that filter. And then we should get the 79 councils, and that looks a lot better. Now what else you can do is, if you can see there's this little drop down arrow. I'm just going to select that little drop down arrow and change it to a drop down list because I don't want to take up all that space. And so now I can just filter and select one. If I hold Control, I can select multiple. But sometimes you don't want to scroll all the way down to the bottom to Yarra. So what you can do is if you click on this 3 dots and you can add a search bar. So now I can just say Yarra and it'll just come up with the 2 that start with Yarra. Okay, I'm just going to make that a bit smaller because we don't need that much space. Close that up. And what I'm going to do is I'll just add a background as well for that so it stands out a little bit. So I've head over to my visualizations pane on the format paintbrush. And I'm just going to select the background and let's make that light gray. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to make another box exactly the same shape and size as this. So I'm just going to hit Control C and Control V to copy it across. You can see the red lines help me line it up perfectly with the other box. And in here, I'm going to take atmospheric condition. I just want the weather. So what was the weather? How many accidents do we have when it was raining? Now I think it is here under weather. So I can just drop that there. Yep, and that's weather.